Welcome back to It's About You. I'm Larry Macon Jr. And now it's time to reveal this week's Everyday Champion. Today I would like to introduce to you Andrea Vecchio. Andrea is the producer of Driving Cleveland. She goes on an adventure each week with celebrities and interesting people from all walks of life who are driving our city in a positive and influential way. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
It is good to be here.
And welcome back.
I know.
Yes.
This is crazy. Usually I was sitting where you are.
I know. So how you been?
I like your couches.
Thank you. Give us the update.
Oh, gosh. The update is life has been fun, and it's been a wild adventure. You were talking about the show Driving Cleveland, which now I started back in 2016. So we've been going at it for a number of years now and just doing that. And I've got a TED Talk coming out, wrote a book, and
all
have a podcast.
Types of celebrities that you're interviewing. What is the message that you're trying to portray?
Well, I think ultimately, you know, whenever I did interviews, the ones that I would get really excited about, especially when I was here at Channel 3, it was when the producer would say, you know, you've got a great guest and we're going to give you a couple extra minutes, because you know the time flies.
Right.
So when they would give me a couple extra minutes, I would get really excited, because I really like to get into the depth of people. And we have so many interesting people here who live in Cleveland who are doing some pretty spectacular things. I mean, they're literally and figuratively driving our community, whether it be through entertainment, innovation, revenue, or productivity. So I just wanted to get those people in a car where you're cocooned in. It's like truth serum.
Like an intimate moment. They can't get out. They have to tell the truth.
Because I'm just interested in people who have had failures and setbacks, and what do they do to spring forward.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sitting in a car with people who are winners.
Right. How did they bounce back?
But how did they bounce back?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Tell me about one of your episodes, one of the best.
Oh my gosh. It's really hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
The very first episode was Joe Thomas, who everybody in Cleveland loves. Joe Thomas, right?
Joe.
And I feel like it was memorable because we had Joe Thomas, who really probably likes to drive around in trucks and a Rolls Royce.
Right.
And his wife called me before the interview and said, hey, I know you're taking Joe to practice, but would you mind stopping by Chick-fil-A on the way, because he'll be hungry. And so here we are in a Rolls Royce pulling through Chick-fil-A, and I think there was even maybe a clip, or you'll see a clip. We ordered a lot of chicken sandwiches for the whole team when we went through. So that was fun because it was the first episode. But I'll tell you, when this show was going to launch, which I launched with Bernie Moreno, he's a local entrepreneur, and at the time he had many car dealerships across multiple states. And high-end cars, right? So the Rolls Royce, Bentleys, Aston Martins, Maserati, Porsche, like the good, fun stuff. The stuff that I thought I never would touch, let alone sit in and drive. And I went to Bernie with the idea, and he said, I love the idea. Who do you think our first guest should be? And so in my mind, I was like, okay, well, who do I have in my phone that's kind of impressive? So I was like, oh, Joe Thomas, Josh Cribbs, Michael Simon. And he looked at me, he goes, LeBron owes me a favor.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting across from him, and in my mind, I'm like, what? But you know, like, you got to be cool. Wow. And I was like, well, that would be great.
And all you get to do is sit in a car and spread positivity.
Well, I feel like there is a lot of positive messaging that happens in the car. But at the end of the day, I hope that when people watch, they're inspired to have different ways to either change their community or change their lives, or if they have a goal, that they watch people who have succeeded and can follow that pattern, because success leaves clues.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing Driving Cleveland and spreading that positivity all around. You're truly an everyday champion.
Oh, you're sweet. Thanks, Larry.
All right. And I want to thank you, the faithful viewers. But before I go, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever received a gift card that you stored in a special place for so long that you forgot that you had it? You know, I've done that before, later to realize that it had an expiration date. And because I didn't use it, I lost the value that was attached to it. The same is true with your gifts and talents. We all have something unique inside of us that if we use it, it can take us to higher levels in our lives. Maybe you're a good singer, a good writer, a good leader of people. Maybe you're good with your hands or a creative thinker. Whatever your talent may be, I want to encourage you today to use it. Don't wait till tomorrow, because just like milk spoils when left out of the refrigerator, our talents and abilities can leave us if we don't use them and grow them and make the best use out of them. Just like that expiring gift card I talked about earlier, if you don't use it, you'll lose the value of it. I don't know how many times people have come up to me in the street or at the mall, sharing with me how they woulda, shoulda, and coulda. Well, the time to put your gifts to good use is today. Today's guest is using her talents, and a world of opportunity is coming her way. And I want to see the same for you. So remember, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So step up and step out into the unknown and see where it gets you. Well, that's my encouraging word for you this week, and I'm glad that you tuned in to see who's doing some great things in our community. Remember to visit my website at larrymaconjr.com or add me on Facebook and Instagram as I post daily inspiration to help you throughout your day. I speak every week, and you can find out where by going to mzov.org. Be sure to contact me and let me know who you think should be next week's Everyday Champion. There's good people doing great things, and I'm glad I get to share that with you every single week. You're watching It's About You, and we'll be right back.
This segment of It's About You was furnished by Larry Macon Jr.